Good morning, listeners of Hot Topic and Fresh News. Today, the 14th of July, 2024, and we have breaking news that demands our attention. Last night, during a rally in Pennsylvania, former President Donald Trump was the target of an assassination attempt that tragically left one attendee dead and two others critically injured. This incident marks a shocking moment in American politics, reminiscent of the violence seen in the 1960s with the assassinations of prominent leaders. The alleged shooter, armed with a high-powered rifle, was apprehended at the scene, raising serious questions about security measures at such high-profile events. President Joe Biden has condemned the attack, calling for national unity and a reduction in heated political rhetoric. As the nation reels from this event, the upcoming Republican convention will undoubtedly be under intense scrutiny, with increased security and a somber tone expected. This is a developing story, and we will continue to provide updates as they become available. Stay with us. Hello and welcome to Hot Topic and Fresh News, your daily dive into the latest and most pressing news stories. I'm your host, Emily, joining you from New York City, and with me is my insightful co-host David, tuning in from San Francisco. We're here to keep you updated with news that matters.
Thanks, Emily. It's great to be here. We've certainly got a lot to cover today.
Absolutely, David. And to all our listeners, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, turn on those notifications, and drop us a comment or two. Sharing our podcast with your friends and family not only helps us grow but also keeps you engaged and informed on the latest developments.
Speaking of latest, Emily Norma, I heard there's a headline today that's quite startling.
Oh, you bet, David. You won't believe what I'm about to disclose. Stay tuned as we unravel how a rally in Pennsylvania turned tragic with an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. This incident not only shakes the core of American political security but also sets a somber tone for the upcoming political conventions.
That's definitely something our listeners need to be aware of, given its potential implications on national security and political discourse.
Exactly, David. Hot off the press. Stay with us as we delve deeper into this and other pressing news stories.
Could you elaborate on the historical significance of this attack in the context of American politics?
Certainly. This attack isn't just a singular event, it resonates deeply with America's past. Not since Ronald Reagan was shot in 1981 have we seen violence directed against a president or presidential candidate this severe. It reminds us of the darker periods of the 1960s, marked by political assassinations and intense polarization.
How did President Biden respond to this crisis?
Within hours of the incident, President Biden addressed the nation from Delaware, strongly condemning the violence and highlighting its incompatibility with American values. He emphasized the need for national unity and the rejection of violence, which he described as sickening.
And what about the reactions from other political figures?
There's a split. Some Republicans have quickly pointed fingers at Democrats, accusing them of inciting this violence through their characterization of Trump as a threat to democracy. Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, for instance, highlighted this in his social media, suggesting that such rhetoric could have contributed to the motivations behind the attack.
Is there a broader implication for the upcoming elections?
Absolutely. This event has already begun to reshape the narrative of the upcoming election. The focus may shift more towards issues of national security and the rhetoric used in political discourse. How candidates address this incident could be pivotal in swaying public opinion.
While it's easy to draw a direct line from heated rhetoric to acts of violence, might there be a risk of oversimplifying the causes of such a complex issue?
That's a valid point. While rhetoric can create a charged atmosphere, attributing violence to speech alone oversimplifies and overlooks other systemic and individual factors. Political violence is a multifaceted issue that requires a nuanced understanding beyond just political discourse.
True, maintaining a balanced view is essential, especially in journalism. It's crucial to consider all angles without jumping to conclusions based on our biases.
I agree that it's important to keep an open mind and consider different perspectives. I'll certainly think more on this. We must approach such sensitive topics with the thoroughness and objectivity they deserve.
It's normal to have disagreements. What matters is how we handle them and the discussions they spark. Thank you for your insights today.
And thank you for the engaging discussion. It's conversations like these that enrich our understanding of the news.
How has the Trump campaign responded to the shocking event?
Chris LaChivita, Trump's campaign manager, has made a strong statement blaming leftist activists, Democratic donors, and even President Biden for what he calls disgusting remarks that allegedly led to the attack. He's calling for accountability through the ballot box this November. It's a sentiment that echoes similar blame shifting we've seen in past events, like the near-fatal shooting of Congresswoman Gabby Giffords in Arizona back in 2011.
With the Republican convention starting soon, how might this incident affect the proceedings?
The convention's atmosphere will undoubtedly be charged. There's going to be intensified security and a palpable tension surrounding the protests and counter-protests expected near the venue. The image of the former president, bloodied yet defiant, is likely to become a potent symbol for his campaign, especially since the theme of strength and masculinity was already slated to be a central narrative.
And what about the broader implications for national security?
The breach in security that allowed an armed assailant to get so close to a former president has raised serious questions about the effectiveness of the Secret Service. The House of Representatives, led by Speaker Mike Johnson, is already gearing up for a full inquiry. This incident not only raises concerns about the safety of our political leaders but also casts a long shadow over our national political discourse.
It seems like American politics is indeed entering a new, perhaps turbulent phase.
That's an understatement. This year's electoral season is showing signs of being unlike any other, with high stakes and heightened emotions. It's a pivotal moment that could redefine the political landscape in America. As we continue to follow these developments, our commitment remains to provide our listeners with the most comprehensive and up-to-date news analysis.
As always, an excellent summary and perspective. Thank you for that deep dive.
You're welcome. And to our listeners, keep tuning in as we navigate these uncharted electoral waters together. We'll be back with more updates and in-depth analysis on this and other news stories. Thanks for tuning into Hot Topic and Fresh News today. We've navigated through some turbulent waters in American politics, discussing the recent shocking events. I appreciate every one of you for joining us. Please subscribe, activate those notifications, and if you found our discussion insightful, consider sharing it. Each share, comment, and like helps us reach more curious minds like yours.
And hey, don't forget to keep things light even when the news gets heavy. We're here to keep you informed and maybe even crack a smile. Make sure you're here next time. Who knows what we'll dive into? But it's sure to catch your interest.
We're grateful for your attention and engagement. Looking forward to our next episode, where we'll continue to provide you with the latest and most compelling news analysis.
Until then, keep the conversations going, whether it's online or at your next family gathering. There's always something interesting on the horizon.
Stay in the loop, keep your eyes on the news, our channel's content will amuse.